Kevalashtakam. Okay.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjavi Hari Gopi Janaballabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Janaballabha Girivara Gopi Janaballabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Janaballabha Girivardhari Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tiravana Chadi Jamuna Tiravana Chadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunjabi Gopi Janaballabha Girivara Radhe Gopi Janaballabha Girivara Radhe Yasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamuna Tiravana Jamuna Tiravana Chadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hari Gaur Pimanandi. So welcome all of you that are just joining us, because many of us have been here for the weekend taking part in a Japa retreat, And one of the things that we like to do at the end of Japa retreats is sing this nice song, Kevalashtakam. Ashtaka means 8, and Kevala means absolute, the absolute glorification of the holy name. And there's a refrain at the end of each of these 8. Harir Nama Eva Kevalam. The holy name alone is everything. Harir Nama Eva Kevalam. So this song, little background, the song is written by a contemporary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Those of you that are newer, you recognize on our left side, that's Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta, in between Gorkishore and then Bhaktivinoda. Bhaktivinoda Thakur began what in ISKCON is ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He established an organization called Vaishnava Raja Vishva Sabha, which means ISKCON. And he established it. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was the co-founder in 1885, and a contemporary of his was the author of this. And the contemporary was Nishikant Maharaj, Nishikant. And he wrote a number of songs and writings on bhakti. And this is from a 100-verse, a shatakam, and 8 verses have become celebrated as the ashtakam out of the 100. That little background. He's a Vaishnava glorifying the names of Krishna, which was not just our line of disciplic succession, but outside our line of disciplic succession. People in different parts of the world, particularly in Bengal, really liked Lord Chaitanya. And because they liked Lord Chaitanya propagated the chanting of the holy name. So this is a song just glorifying the holy name. So we like it. I hope you like it too. And Rati is going to sing the song.
Maduram madure pyopi mangale pyopi mangalam maduram
Madre Biopi. I can't do both.
Maduram madurebhyopi mangalebhyopi mangalam
Madram Madre Biopi Mangale Biopi Mangalam
Pavanam pavanebhyopi Harirnamaiva kevalam
Pavane Biopi Hare
Abrahmastamba paryantam sarvamayam jagat
Abrahmastamba paryantam sarvamayam jagat
Satyam satyam punah satyam हरिर्नामैव केवलम्
Satyam Bhagam Satyam Harinam Eva Kevalam
Saguru sapita chapi samata bandhavo pisa
Pita Chaki Namata
शिक्षायेच्छे सदा स्मर्तुम् हरिर्नामैव केवलम् विश्वासे नहीं विश्वासा कदारूढो भविष्यति विश्वासे कीर्तनीया मतो बाल्यात् हरिर्नामैव केवलम् हरि सदा वसे तत्र यत्र भागवता जना हरि सदा
Yatra Bhagavata Jana
गायन्ति भक्ति भावेना हरिर्नामैव केवलम्
Gayanti Bhakti Bhavena Harinameva Kevalam
अहो दुःखं महादुःखं दुःखादुःखतरं यथा अहो दुःखं
Mahadukam Dukkhadukkhasaram Yatta
काचार्तां विस्मृतं रत्ना हरिर्नामैव केवलम्
Chartam Vismitham Ratna Harinameva Kevalam
दीयतां दीयतां कर्णो नियतां नियतां वच
Diyatam Diyatam Karno Diyatam Vachaha
गीयतां गीयतां नित्यां हरिर्नामैव केवलम्
Gitam Gitam Nityam Harinameva Kevalam
त्रिनिकृत्य जगत् सर्वम् राजते सकलोपरि त्रिनिकृत्य
Jagat Sarvam bhajate chittano bhani.
Chidanandamayam Shuddham Harirnamaiva Kevalam. Harirnamaiva Kevalam. Harirnamaiva Kevalam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
One of the slides that I quickly skipped over, I'll show it now. Here is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra directly in one of the Upanishads, exactly as we chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Sodashakam Nam Nam. Kali Kamasha Nasanam. All the dirty things in the age of Kali are destroyed. Nata Para Taro Paya sarva vedeshu drishyate. After searching through all the Vedic literature, one cannot find a method of religion more sublime for this age of Kali than the chanting of Hare Krishna. So it's authorized. And in addition, it's the main dharma for this age of Kali. Harer Nama, you all know the verse? Say it with me. Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama eva kevalam, kalo nasyeva, nasyeva, nasyeva gatiranyata. So if you don't know it, you just stick around, you'll learn it. This age of Kali, in Sanskrit is a rule, if something is repeated like this 3 times, it's for absolute emphasis. Not just nice, it's absolutely nice. So 3 times, Harer Nama, same as Harer Nama eva kevalam. Harer Nama 3 times. Eva kevalam, kevalam is a strong word, means absolute. Like the judge's gavel hits the desk or hits the mallet. Kevalam, absolute. In this age of Kali, there is no other way. Kalo na asti eva. There isn't an alternative, there isn't an alternative. There's no alternative. Now, the chanting of the holy name goes well with anything else that is of the transcendental nature. In fact, it spiritualizes or transcendentalizes other things that it comes in contact with. But it's for this age of Kali specifically, it's the means. Primary means, or the only means, to the calling of the names of God. Now, because of time, I'm going to share a little bit with 4 of the verses that are in Kevalashtakam, 4 of the 8. And we'll start with the first one, and then we're going to go on to 6, 7, and 8. Madhura Madhure BOP. Madhu means sweet, like honey is madhu. And a bumblebee is a madhu. he seeks after honey. Madhuram Madhure BOP. More sweet than any other sweet thing. Mangala, auspicious. Just like here at the temple, we have Mangala Arti. It's an auspicious time. And during the early morning hours of the day, during the Brahma Muhurta hours of the day, before the sun rises, Mangala Arati. So Mangala, Mangale BOP, amongst auspicious things, is more auspicious than all other auspicious things. Pavana means become purified or purifying agent. Pavanam Pavane BOP. There's nothing more purifying than this best of all purifiers. The holy name alone is everything. Eva Kevalam. The holy name alone of Sri Hari. Harer is the vocative of Hari. Hari is the name of Krishna, or the supreme entity, supreme person. And the vocative is Harer, or Hare. So Harer, the holy name of Hari, so Harer Nama, alone is everything. Eva Kevalam. Again, this Kevala word, very, very strong word. Absolute. It's the best. Now, because there's 8 and because the hands of the clock keep moving, I'm going to go on to number 6. I like it, so I hope you like it too. And dukkha. Oh, dukkam maha dukkam dukkhad. Dukkataram yata. Dukkha is a strong word too. Dukkha means sorrow or sad or unhappy or distress, misery, bad. dukkha. And of all most sorrowful, painful things, the most painful thing of all is kachartam. Kacha. I mean, it's nice being born in America where you don't know any Sanskrit. And then you have a spiritual master that teaches you Sanskrit. But he doesn't give a Sanskrit class. He just recited verses and then take a word from the verse and explain the word. So I learned this word, kacha. It's the opposite of paka. Those of you from India, you know. So, first class, paka. Bad is kacha. So like paka rice and kacha rice. Or something that's very nice, something that's very poor quality. So kacha, karchartam. Of all thinking a piece of glass, a kacha, piece of glass, is the most valuable thing, forgetting the most valuable thing. Visritam ratna. Kachatam, artha is something wanted. So you want a piece of glass, okay. And through that, you have to forget the jewel. How unfortunate. Mistaking a mere piece of glass, the people have forgotten this jewel. Then the refrain, Harinameva Kevalam. The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. And all of this is, I'll repeat from something earlier, this is part of a 100 series of verses to make one song, and 8 verses have been extracted from that 100, but they're all very nice, meaningful, and strong. Diyatam, that's what you meditate on, something is like dhyan, meditation, diyatam karno, hearing again and again with the ear. Niyatam vachaha, when you speak again and again, hear again and again, speak. Giyatam, sing. Giyatam nityam, again and again and again. Sing the holy name, because the holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. The spiritual sound is diametrically opposite from material sound. With material sound, you can say a certain sound some number of times, just like a child can do, make a sound and make a sound. But after some time, they stop making that sound because it's boring. There may be some initial juice or some rasa from some sound, but then that stopped because it's on the material side. But something that's on the spiritual side, the more that sound is made, the more the sense of what the object that sound is representing is felt. And therefore kirtan is the same mantra again and again. During lunch today, we had our 64-round day today. So I had lunch, I had breakfast and lunch. And during both breakfast and lunch, I was just listening to one kirtan. There's a very nice devotee, Madhava, from South Africa. And he didn't have like a superlative voice. He chants from the heart. And slowly. And during the course of his chanting, he'll invite the audience from the heart. And so you keep going, and it's the same mantra, the same set of words, but something moves in the heart, not just because he says from the heart. It's just that kind of sound. It's the nature of spiritual sound. The nature of spiritual sound is the sound and the object that the sound is representing are the same. For example, material sound. If I say, water, 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 the substance and the sound are different. But in spiritual matters, the sound vibration and the substance are the same. So if I say, Krishna, the sound and the person are the same. That's spiritual sound. Now, we're not acquainted so much with spiritual sound. We're very acquainted with material sound. And, music is part of life in every culture of the world since time immemorial. Music and singing, giyatam. That's the word that's on the screen here. Giyatam, singing. So, material sound doesn't have the same effect, doesn't have that sweetness. So back to madhuram, madhare bop. Because the sound and the person whose the sound is invoking or calling the name of is not different than the sound. And so it's association with the Supreme, just by sound. And gradually, pavanam, pavane bop, purification takes place so that one may, through gradual purification, realize the truth. The name and the person are non-different. And as that consciousness awakens, you want to chant again and again and again. That's what's being said in this verse. And because the hands of the clock keep moving, I'm just going to do one more verse. Trini krityam jagat sarvam. Trin, nice word. Trin means straw or blade of grass, which is what straw is. So a Vaishnava behavior is to exhibit humility. And when a sign of humility, like Sanatana Goswami, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he put a blade of grass or a piece of straw in his teeth and fell at his feet and sought his instructions, submitted himself, a very learned fellow, submitted himself before a young sannyasi to receive instruction with that mood of submission. So Trin is insignificant. And you put the insignificant in your mouth, and it's a gesture, it's a sign of humility. And this verse is saying, Trini kritya jagat sarvam, this jagat, this universe, is insignificant compared to the holy name. Rajate, the holy name is Raja, is the king. It reigns supremely, splendorously, supreme over all. Sakala paro, sakalo pari, chidanandamayam shuddham, full of Satchitananda, conscious divine ecstasy. That's nice. And how'd you like to meet that which is full of divine ecstasy? And Haribol, nice to meet you. And that's the holy name. The holy name has all of that. It's supremely pure. Shuddham, supremely pure. And you come in contact with that which is supremely pure, and guess what? You become pure. Even something that's not clean can come in contact with that which is supremely pure. It becomes pure just by contact. And therefore, again and again and again, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is encouraged to be chanted. And someone here reminded me, I've been visiting Houston for a number of years now, and this is year number 12 or something like that we've had this Japa retreat. And devotees from far and wide, as well as the local devotees, come and participate in getting the purification and spiritual elevation that comes from chanting. So this is an invitation in advance. If Krishna permits, and I live that long, we'll see you next year. Next year is very soon, anyways. I don't know exactly when next year, but we'll figure out sometime, and come and get purified with all of us just by this association with the Supreme Pure, supremely pure. Chidananda Maya Shuddham Harirnam Eva Kevalam. So from what I've understood, I'm supposed to end at 5:30. And if that clock on the wall is right, the bell's ringing, I have to end. Is that right? What? No. Oh, 6:50, 50. Okay. Well, guess what? We can have some discussion if all of you would like. Now, in an assembly like this, my guess is people will be a little bit shy. But once the ball starts rolling, it's hard to stop that ball that's rolling. So I'll be very patient and see if any of you would like to have some discussion on anything in relation to the holy name. Doesn't have to be these verses. And if not, I can go back and discuss some of the verses that we didn't already cover. Yes. Do we have a portable microphone? Who wants to be the runner? You're going to be the runner. It's your service. He likes service. He can sing, he can dance, he can carry the microphone, he can do all kinds of things.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. My question is on when you said that the material sound and the object which refers to, you said that they are different, but when it comes to spiritual sound and the object, they're same. So it's a little difficult.
Yes, it's difficult.
To understand how to.
You like Sanskrit? Abhinna means non-different. Bhinna is different. Abhinna means non-different. Abhinna tvam means ness, having the quality of abhinna. There's a qualitative non-difference between nama and nami. Spiritual. Nama is the name. Nami is the object named. It's like deha and dehi, the body and the occupant or proprietor of the body. Deha, dehi, nama, nami. Abhinatvam. So it's just by definition. So I agree with you. 100%. The mind can't get around that one. It's not something that fits in our little binary processor. It's either a 1 or a 0. And this is neither a 1 nor a 0. So our binary processor can't get around it. We can't, with the mind, understand transcendence. Question: how do you understand transcendence then if you're not using the mind? Answer: sound vibration. There's better means of knowing things than the mind. Really? What's that? Sound vibration that comes from a non-fallible source. Shabda, spiritual sound. So the Vedas teach us spiritual sound, non-different than the object. Material sound, the name and the object are different. Water, 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 water. and the substance are different. That's our common experience. The sound and the object identified by the sound are different. There's the sound, that's fine. So, you can't play basketball with sound. You have to have the object. You can talk about basketball, but it's not basketball without the basketball, etc. It's a distinction between material and spiritual sound. And then, and how do we know what's a spiritual sound? Well, it's the same from the infallible source, from the Vedas, that come from the infallible person. The Supreme Person is, without mistakes that humans make, infallible source of sound. The Vedas. Through the Vedas we can know what's spiritual. The effect can be experienced directly also. But it takes a little practice because we're covered. We got, too much covering. So it takes a while to thin out that covering and start to see or hear or experience what's below the covering. But that's that practice, spiritual practice. More.
Yeah, just a follow up on that. So from the Vedas, we understand what is spiritual sound. So
Yes.
let's say all the names of the Supreme Personality in Vishnu Sahasranam
Yes.
are
Fully spiritual.
fully spiritual. So what makes Krishna more powerful than, let's say, other names of Krishna in this Kali Yuga? Like what's the
What's the speciality of that
Of the
name in
Krishna-
contrast to the other Vishnu
other
names?
Vishnu names in this Yuga? Yeah.
You're a scientist. A spiritual scientist. But thank you. You ready? A scientist got to be ready for a science answer. Here's a spiritual science answer. From Bhagavad Gita. You like Bhagavad Gita? 2 verses. We'll just do one. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samandita. That's a nice verse. Krishna says to the first half, I am the source of everything. Then he says it in reverse. Everything comes from me. Aham sarvasya prabhava, the source of emanation. Of sarva, everything, matter, spirit, you name it, don't name it, I'm the source. Everything. And of the everything, there's expansion. One of the everything, there are personal expansions. And the Vishnu forms are personal expansions. So now comes your question. What's the distinction between the expansions and the source of the expansions? Qualitatively, they're alike. They're full, purnam. Another Sanskrit, from Ishopanishad. Om Purnamadak Purnamidam Purnat Purnam. So they're in the category of purnam, or full, complete. Yet, there are characteristics of Krishna that are found in Krishna and in Krishna's name that are not in Vishnu's name. So that was the science. The source has some characteristics that the Vishnu expansions don't have. What's that, please? That's the question. So, if you, in Rupa Goswami's writings, from authoritative scriptural sources, the Vedas, this indicates their characteristics or the qualities of the Supreme are unlimited, because he's unlimited, but there are 64 items that are particularly prominent, and he lists them from Scripture. And of those 64, 4 exclusively are found in Krishna. His playing of his flute. It's not just, he's a good flute player, but there's a sweetness. The phrase that's used in Sanskrit is sweetness. The sweetness of his pastimes, particularly his pastimes in Vrindavan. The sweetness of his loving dealings. Just like, for example, in Vaikuntha, does Narayana have a mother and a father? Krishna has mother and father. And all the other rasas. So that the sweetness of rasa that's found in Krishna's pastimes is not present in the Vishnu forms. And therefore the Vishnu names. In one sense, they're transcendental, fully transcendental. But there's features of Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's activities, Krishna's loving dealings that are unique in the spiritual realm of Vrindavan. There's a special sweetness in these four categories. And that makes the person and similarly the name very special. But supposing, just like on our altar, there's a deity of Lord Nrsingadev. We observe Nrsinga Chaturdasi and have, Nrsinga Chaturdasi. And Ram Navami, he is a manifestation of Vishnu Tattva. And there are names in the Vishnu Sahasranam that are relation to that form of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, fully spiritual. And there's a special sweetness within Krishna's name. Therefore, that's the speciality of Krishna's name amongst the names. But it's not like snobbishness, condescending, our name better than your name, na 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 na. No. But from a transcendental scientist like you, point of view, there's something special about this name. The name itself. Krishna is all attractive. Krish, to attract. That sound means to attract. He attracts the hearts and the minds of everyone. And therefore, so many things. Worshippers of Lord Nrsingadev and worshippers of Lord Ramachandra, they like Bhagavad Gita. They like Ramayana and other literatures, but that's a speciality. Guess what? We have just 3 minutes left. No, 7 minutes left. Someone else?
Hare Krishna. Thanks for being with us this weekend. I was just curious if you would share a story, like an experience from your life in Japa, like if you have a favorite story, or when you came to realize the name of God's the same as God Himself.
You're getting personal here. Well, it doesn't take long to, if one has love for one's spiritual master, for me, Prabhupada is my spiritual master. My thoughts go to him. And just like, we sing this Jai Radha Madhava song. We do because Prabhupada did, in the beginning of most classes. It doesn't matter what's going on. We sing that song because it's names of Krishna in Vrindavan, and it's especially sweet. Names of Krishna in Vrindavan are especially sweet. So whatever the circumstance. And when Prabhupada was introducing this song, he had to stop because he was choked up in ecstasy. Now, it didn't happen every time. But there are some times when, that was one of those times, he was just describing, the meaning of the words of the song. And he became, his Krishna button got pushed. And he just went into a trance. And he couldn't, he had to stop. I mean, he stopped. And then everyone was like, and that was it. So that's a pretty memorable experience. Now, that's not my personal experience, but it's, I observed one circumstance. This was in Mayapur. Prabhupada was singing Jai Radha Madhava. And as he was singing Jai Radha Madhava, he stopped, and his body froze in like suspended animation. He started to tilt this way and that way, like, a bamboo in the wind. The facial features became elongated, like stretched. His eyes were closed. And everyone, like, what do you do when this happens? And then Prabhupada opened his eyes, looked around the room, didn't say anything. He got up and went upstairs to his room upstairs. That was it. So, and that's just, the effect. When there's absorption, sometimes there's spontaneous absorption and nothing can check it. Nothing material can check it. And Krishna took him to a place, who knows where that place was. And he was not connected to us outside. He was in samadhi. It can happen through sound. So I can't say if that's ever happened to me, but it happened in my vision in Mayapur with my spiritual master. We have 3 minutes. Any one other person? Yes?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So, like the holy name is the purest of all, like pure than purest. So when we chant holy name, so does it depend like how much attention we chant?
Yes.
Then it purifies to that degree.
Then it does what?
So like how much attention we give to the chanting or
Yes.
hearing.
Yes.
So that is a degree of purification we have.
Yes. Supposing you're exposed to the sun. Supposing there's clouds in the sky that in between you and the sun. So the full brightness of the sun is partially blocked by the cloud. At night is something else. So yes, and similarly, a clear, cloudless day, you're going to get more light. And so similarly, with attention to the Supreme Pure, my subjective experience of purification will be greater or lesser, depending upon the attentiveness and focus. Okay. So I'm going to end, and somebody's going to make some announcements probably. Where's Chirag? You're the announcer these days, huh?